Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring some really surprising connections between ancient Egypt, electricity, and X-rays.
Oh, wow.
In like late 19th and early 20th century thought.
Okay.
We've got this fascinating scholarly article that examines the literature and cultural beliefs of that era.
Interesting.
So yeah, buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride.
Indeed. It is quite remarkable how these seemingly disparate elements intertwined,
Right.
revealing these really unexpected perspectives on scientific progress and ancient knowledge, and this like blurring of the lines between science and magic.
Yeah. So let's start with the Victorians' just fascination with ancient Egypt.
Okay.
It seems like they were almost obsessed with this idea that ancient Egyptians, possess knowledge that could rival or even surpass their own.
Yeah, they really viewed ancient Egypt as the source of lost wisdom and power. The pyramids, for example, were seen as these engineering marvels that hinted at this, advanced understanding of mathematics and construction.
Yeah, and they also believed that alchemy, like that mystical pursuit of turning lead into gold,
Right.
originated in ancient Egypt, or Kemet, as they called it. What do you think fueled this belief?
I think it reflects this kind of broader fascination with the idea of rediscovering ancient knowledge. The Victorians were witnessing these rapid scientific and technological advancements.
Right.
And perhaps they saw echoes of those advancements in the remnants of ancient civilizations.
It's like they were looking to the past to validate the incredible progress that they were making in the present.
Precisely. And this fascination wasn't limited to, grand structures like the pyramids.
Okay.
There's a fascinating anecdote about the astronomer Norman Lockyer,
Right.
who, while exploring freshly opened tombs in Egypt, noticed something peculiar.
Okay.
There were no signs of torches or any conventional light source.
Wait, so how did they see in those dark tombs?
That's the question that baffled Lockyer and his colleagues. They even joked, perhaps half seriously, that the ancient Egyptians might have had electric light.
Wow.
It sounds outlandish to us now,
Yeah.
but it shows just how advanced they believed the ancient Egyptians to be.
That's amazing. So it wasn't just scientists pondering this idea of ancient Egyptian electricity?
Not at all. Occultist Helena Blavatsky and the popular novelist Marie Corelli were also proponents of this idea.
Okay.
They saw these connections between ancient wisdom and modern scientific breakthroughs, suggesting that, we were merely rediscovering what the ancients already knew.
It's as if they believed that modern science was simply catching up to ancient knowledge.
Yes. And this idea gained even more traction with the emergence of Nikola Tesla and his incredible demonstrations of electricity.
Tesla, the electric wizard. Always been fascinated by him.
Tesla's performances were truly spectacular.
Yeah.
He captivated audiences with fluorescent lighting,
Oh, wow.
flaming swords of light, and even made his name appear in fire.
It's like magic, but it was science.
It was like magic, but it was science.
It must have been mind-blowing to witness those demonstrations.
Yeah.
People were calling him a wizard wielding supernatural forces.
Right.
Did Tesla himself buy into this idea of ancient Egyptian electricity?
He did, in his own eccentric way.
Okay.
Tesla claimed that Moses was an electrician,
Wow.
and that ancient knowledge of electricity surpassed our modern understanding.
Really?
His statements, combined with his just awe-inspiring demonstrations, further blurred the lines between science and spectacle.
So Tesla wasn't just advancing science, he was shaping how people perceived it.
Right.
He was like a showman.
Yeah.
Making the impossible seem possible.
Absolutely. And this blurring of science and spectacle is reflected in literature as well.
Right.
For example, in H. Rider Haggard's short story, Smith and the Pharaohs, the god Osiris emits a light that's very similar to Tesla's creations.
So these modern spectacles were influencing how people visualized ancient power.
Yes.
That's fascinating. Did this fascination with the unseen extend beyond electricity?
Yes, it did. The discovery of X-rays in the late 19th century also captivated the public imagination.
Those mysterious rays that could see through your skin.
Exactly. They were like a window into the invisible, sparking occult theories and comparisons to spirit photography. And guess what? One of the first things they used X-rays on was...
Mummies?
You got it. Prominent Egyptologists like Flinders Petrie and Gaston Maspero
Wow.
were eager to use this new technology to examine mummies, hoping to uncover secrets hidden beneath the bandages.
It's amazing how these seemingly unrelated elements, ancient Egypt, electricity, and X-rays,
Yeah.
were all converging in the late 19th century.
Right.
It's like science fiction colliding with reality. And if I remember correctly, H. Rider Haggard also incorporated X-rays into his story.
He did. The protagonist of Smith and the Pharaohs, an Egyptologist named Smith, was likely inspired by a real anatomist who used X-rays to examine mummies.
Oh, wow.
This blurring of fact and fiction further highlights how these scientific discoveries were shaping perceptions of the past.
And Haggard took the idea of X-rays and flipped it, right?
Yeah.
Instead of scientists using them to study mummies, it's the Egyptian spirits themselves who emanate these Roentgen rays.
Yes, that's a crucial point.
Wow.
Instead of modern science illuminating the past, it's the ancient spirits who possess the advanced technology.
Right.
It suggests a power shift, a challenge to the idea that modern science holds all the answers.
So we've got ancient Egypt, electricity, X-rays.
Huh.
Where does radioactivity fit into all of this?
Well, that's where Bram Stoker's chilling novel,
Okay.
The Jewel of Seven Stars, comes in.
Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula.
Yes.
This is getting really interesting.
The novel revolves around a group of individuals who attempt to revive an ancient Egyptian queen using a blend of magic and science.
Okay.
They create this magic coffer that glows when exposed to specific types of radiation.
Oh, wow.
An idea that evokes the imagery of X-ray fluorescence and even surpasses our modern technological capabilities.
Wow. That's incredible. It sounds like Stoker was really tapping into the mysteries of radioactivity and weaving them into this tale of ancient Egyptian power and resurrection.
And here's another interesting connection.
Okay.
The novel's Queen Tara bears some striking similarities to Marie Curie,
Really?
one of the pioneers of radioactivity research.
Now, that's a parallel I wouldn't have expected. Tell me more about that.
Well, Stoker published The Jewel of Seven Stars just a year after Curie, her husband, Pierre, and Henri Becquerel received the Nobel Prize in Physics for their research on radioactivity. It's quite possible that Stoker was inspired by Curie's fame and groundbreaking work,
Yeah.
especially considering the similarities between Queen Tara and Curie as pioneering women in their respective fields.
That's an interesting connection.
Yeah.
So we've got these fictional explorations of ancient Egyptian power fueled by real scientific discoveries that at the time seemed almost magical in their own right. It's as if the lines between science magic and ancient wisdom were becoming increasingly blurred.
That's a great way to put it. And this blurring of boundaries is central to understanding the cultural anxieties and aspirations of that era.
Right.
People were witnessing this period of unprecedented scientific and technological advancement.
Yeah.
And they were grappling with its implications.
It's like they were trying to make sense of these groundbreaking discoveries by looking both to the future and to the past.
Precisely. And this interplay between science, magic, and ancient Egypt continues to resonate with us today as we still grapple with the implications of scientific progress and the enduring allure of the unknown. What stands out to you about all this so far? What's captured your imagination the most?
For me, it's the idea that these groundbreaking scientific discoveries like Tesla's demonstrations of electricity and the discovery of X-rays were so awe-inspiring that they were almost indistinguishable from magic in the eyes of the public. It's like science itself became a source of wonder and mythology.
That's a brilliant observation.
Yeah.
And those descriptions of Tesla holding balls of flame or being surrounded by a halo of electric sparks, it's like something straight out of a myth.
Exactly. And the way Stoker incorporates the latest research on radioactivity into The Jewel of Seven Stars
Right.
is equally fascinating.
Yeah.
It shows how these scientific concepts weren't just confined to laboratories and journals, but were permeating popular culture,
Right.
shaping how people thought about the past, present, and future.
It's like these authors, Haggard and Stoker, were reflecting the anxieties and aspirations of their time by exploring the intersection of science, magic, and ancient Egypt. They were tapping into this deep human desire to understand the unknown.
And don't forget about the X-rays.
Right.
It's mind-boggling to think that these early pioneers were using this brand new technology to peer into the secrets of mummies.
Yeah.
It's like they were using science to bridge the gap between the living and the dead.
It's like a real-life ghost story, only instead of seances and Ouija boards, they're using cutting-edge scientific tools to connect with the past. And what makes it even more intriguing is how Haggard flipped the script.
By giving the ancient Egyptians the power of the X-rays.
Yes. It's as if he's suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the ancients knew more than we give them credit for. And this raises a really interesting question.
Okay.
if, as Tesla claimed, the ancients possessed knowledge that we're only now rediscovering, what other secrets might be waiting to be uncovered?
That's a great question to ponder.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about the role of imagination in all of this.
Okay.
It's as if these authors, Haggard and Stoker, were using their imaginations to explore the boundaries of science and the possibilities of ancient knowledge.
You're right.
Yeah.
They were blurring the lines between a fact and fiction science and magic to create these compelling narratives that reflected the wonder and anxieties of their time.
Right.
And in a way, they were challenging the notion that science alone holds all the answers.
It's like they were suggesting that there's more to knowledge than just empirical evidence and scientific observation.
Precisely. And this idea is still relevant today. In an age where we're bombarded with information and technological advancements, it's important to remember that knowledge is this complex and multifaceted thing.
Right.
And that there's always more to learn and discover.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm already looking at ancient Egypt in a whole new light. It's not just about pyramids and pharaohs anymore. It's a source of profound knowledge and inspiration that continues to resonate with us today.
That's a great insight. And it reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey full of twists and turns, and that there's always more to discover, both within ourselves and in the world around us.
I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
Yeah.
From Tesla's electrifying performances to the mysteries of radioactivity and the enduring fascination with ancient Egypt, we've journeyed through a truly remarkable period of history.
It's a journey that highlights the power of imagination, the allure of the unknown, and the enduring human quest to understand our place in the universe. And I'm eager to continue our exploration.
Let's take a moment to gather our thoughts.
Go ahead.
And we'll be right back to delve even deeper into these fascinating connections.
I look forward to it.
Okay, so we've been talking about how these incredible scientific advancements were almost perceived as magic back then.
Yeah.
But there's another layer to this, right? Didn't this also elevate the status of scientists themselves?
Absolutely. Figures like Tesla and Curie, with their groundbreaking discoveries that seem to border on the supernatural, were often portrayed as almost godlike figures, capable of manipulating forces beyond human comprehension.
It's fascinating how their work fed into this perception of scientists as like modern day sorcerers. And it wasn't just scientists who were being elevated.
Right.
Ancient Egypt, with its supposed advanced knowledge and mysterious rituals, was no longer viewed as some primitive civilization.
Exactly. It was transformed into a source of lost wisdom and potent magic. That modern science was only beginning to rediscover. Both the ancient and the modern were being elevated, each reflecting the mystery and wonder of the other.
And both Haggard and Stoker, by drawing inspiration from real scientists like Tesla and Curie, really played into this idea, blurring the lines between science and the supernatural even further. Their stories suggest that maybe we haven't progressed as far from ancient knowledge as we might think.
That's a thought-provoking point. It makes you wonder, did these fictional explorations simply reflect cultural anxieties about rapid technological change? Or did they hint at a genuine belief in the advanced knowledge of ancient civilizations?
It's a question that still resonates with us today, doesn't it? As we continue to push the boundaries of science and technology, we're still grappling with the implications of our discoveries and their potential impact on humanity.
In an age obsessed with pushing scientific boundaries, perhaps looking back at ancient cultures like Egypt offers a valuable reminder that knowledge and wonder aren't limited to any single time period.
It's a humbling thought. It suggests that we can learn from the past even as we strive to shape the future.
And it highlights the interconnectedness of knowledge. And how seemingly disparate fields like science, history, and literature can illuminate and enrich one another.
I completely agree. And it makes me think about how both Haggard and Stoker flipped the script on who holds the power. Instead of modern scientists using their knowledge to unravel the mysteries of ancient Egypt, it's the ancient Egyptians themselves who possess the true power and wisdom. Even using technologies that we associate with modernity.
This idea of rediscovering ancient wisdom really seems to be a recurring theme in their work.
That's a powerful observation. It's like a reminder that progress isn't always linear. That sometimes we need to look back to move forward.
And in an age where we're bombarded with information and technological advancements, that's a crucial message. It encourages us to pause, reflect, and consider the broader context of our knowledge and how it connects to the vast tapestry of human history.
Speaking of context, we've talked a lot about the cultural and literary influences surrounding these scientific discoveries.
Okay.
But what about the discoveries themselves? What can you tell us about the scientific principles behind things like X-rays and radioactivity?
That's a great question. To understand X-rays, we need to delve into the world of electromagnetic radiation. Imagine a spectrum of energy ranging from low-energy radio waves to high-energy gamma rays. X-rays fall somewhere in the middle of this spectrum, with enough energy to penetrate soft tissues like skin, but not dense materials like bone.
That's why we can use X-rays to see our skeletons.
Exactly. The discovery of X-rays by Wilhelm Röntgen in 1895 was a monumental breakthrough, allowing us to visualize the invisible structures within the human body. And as we discussed earlier, this technology was quickly applied to the study of mummies, allowing scientists to peer beneath the bandages and examine the skeletal remains of ancient Egyptians.
So X-rays gave us a new way to see the world, both literally and figuratively. What about radioactivity? How does that fit into this picture?
Radioactivity is a bit more complex. It involves the spontaneous decay of certain atomic nuclei, releasing energy in the form of particles or waves. This process of radioactive decay was first discovered by Henri Becquerel in 1896, and further explored by Marie and Pierre Curie, who isolated radioactive elements like radium and polonium.
So while X-rays allowed us to see through things, radioactivity was more about the invisible forces at work within matter itself.
You could say that. And the implications of these discoveries were profound. Scientists realized that matter was not as stable and unchanging as they once thought, but rather a dynamic entity, capable of transformation and decay. This realization had a significant impact on scientific thought, particularly in fields like physics and chemistry.
It's like these discoveries were shattering the very foundations of our understanding of the universe.
Indeed. And what's fascinating is how these discoveries fed into both scientific and cultural narratives. Scientists were grappling with the implications of these new forces, while writers like Haggard and Stoker were incorporating them into their stories, exploring their potential and their dangers.
It was a time of incredible intellectual ferment, wasn't it? New discoveries were challenging old assumptions, and the lines between science and fiction were blurring, creating a sense of wonder and unease.
You've captured the essence of that era perfectly. It was a time of both great excitement and profound uncertainty, as humanity grappled with the implications of unlocking the secrets of the atom.
I think we need another moment to unpack all of this. We'll be back shortly to wrap up our deep dive into ancient Egypt, cutting-edge science, and the power of imagination. Wow, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have.
It's amazing to see how all these seemingly disparate elements, ancient Egypt, electricity, X-rays, radioactivity, they all converged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, shaping both scientific thought and popular culture.
It really is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a testament to the interconnectedness of knowledge, And how exploring these connections can lead to a much richer understanding of the past, the present, and even the future.
I'm particularly struck by how these scientific breakthroughs, which were groundbreaking in their own right, were also intertwined with this fascination with ancient knowledge, particularly that of ancient Egypt. It's as if people were looking both forward and backward at the same time.
Yes. That's a key takeaway from our discussion, The Victorians, while embracing scientific progress, were also drawn to this idea that ancient civilizations might have possessed knowledge that we had lost, or were only just beginning to rediscover.
And this idea wasn't just limited to fringe groups or occultists. Even respected scientists like Norman Lockyer entertained the possibility that ancient Egyptians might have had electric light.
That's right. And this fascination with ancient knowledge is reflected in the literature of the time. As we saw with Haggard and Stoker's stories. They incorporated these cutting-edge scientific discoveries into their narratives, but they also played with this idea that ancient civilizations might have possessed even greater knowledge and power.
It's like they were suggesting that science is not just about progress, but also about rediscovery, about uncovering the hidden wisdom of the past.
And that's a powerful idea, especially in an age when we tend to view technological advancement as the primary measure of progress.
Right.
Looking back at ancient cultures reminds us that knowledge and wonder aren't limited to any single time period.
Absolutely. It's a reminder to approach the pursuit of knowledge with humility and a willingness to learn from the past. And it also makes me wonder if maybe we've lost sight of something along the way.
What do you mean?
Well, we've been talking about how Tesla's demonstrations of electricity were seen as almost magical.
Right.
And the discovery of X-rays and radioactivity must have seemed equally awe-inspiring. It seems like there was this sense of wonder and mystery surrounding these discoveries that maybe we've lost today.
That's an interesting point. It's true that in our modern world, we're constantly bombarded with new technologies and scientific discoveries.
Right.
And it's easy to become desensitized to the wonder of it all.
Right.
We might benefit from reclaiming some of that childlike curiosity and awe.
Exactly. And maybe that's one of the lasting legacies of this period we've been discussing. It's a reminder that science is not just about cold, hard facts, but also about wonder, exploration, and pushing the boundaries of what we know.
And it's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey full of surprises and unexpected connections. Who knows what other mind-blowing discoveries are still waiting to be made, or what forgotten wisdom we might rediscover.
That's what makes it all so exciting. We're constantly learning and evolving, and who knows what the future holds.
So as we conclude this deep dive, I'd like to leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder.
Okay.
What if the real magic lies not in the technology itself, but in our capacity for wonder, curiosity, and this willingness to explore the uncharted territories of knowledge?
Beautifully said. It's not just about the facts and figures, but about that spark of curiosity, that sense of awe that drives us to keep exploring and learning.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this electrifying journey through time and technology. We hope you've enjoyed the ride as much as we have.
Until next time, keep those neurons firing and never stop questioning, exploring, and marveling at the wonders of our world.